Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be canning jerk chicken and also red peas jerk style. So you guys, I opened a can of the jerk red peas and a can of the jerk chicken, and I'm trying to show you how tender the beans came out. So nice and soft. I'm gonna try it. This is really perfect. It's not too much it's not salty at all. So if you wanted to add some sort of sauce with it or put it in a meal or anything like that, the amount of salt that I put in it is perfect. Or even if you just want to eat it by itself, it's not too salty. It's very mild, and the jerk season is the perfect amount of seasoning I put. I didn't put too much because I don't like my food too spicy. And this is a jerk chicken. See how it came out? It has a decent color. So I guess that's a secret. If you don't like the way ugly chicken look, is to marinate it beforehand. And let me show you how tender the chicken came out. And with the broth that's inside, I could make a gravy with it if I want. I'm gonna try to see if it's if it's not too salty or not. It's actually not too salty. There's definitely more jerk season in this one. I would add something to make it a little bit more sweet. I'll maybe put a little bit more jerk season, but I'm able to eat it. It's bearable. So there you go, homemade jerk chicken and homemade red peas. You could give one to a vegetarian person or a vegan person, or give one that eat anything, or vice versa, whatever you feel like eating for the day. Okay everyone, bye. About 2 packs of chicken. Each pack had a thigh and a leg together, so I cut them in 2, and I'm going to marinate them first. Then I'm going to put them in a pint container. It's easier to put the meat in the wide mouth container, so that's what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to start off marinate them with jerk season, hot and spicy sauce. I recommend making it if you can, but I don't have any time to make it homemade, so I bought it in the bottle. I don't know how spicy this one is. I don't think I ever tried this one. But this is it's a Jamaican traditional one, so let's see if it tastes like that. So I think I'm gonna put 2 3 tablespoons. And if that's not enough, next time I will know when I make it. That's why it's nice to have me recording this. This way I will know I record everything I do. So this is called browning. It's supposed to give whatever you put it in a dark color. It's made from brown sugar. So I'm gonna try this, maybe put about a teaspoon. Don't want to put too much, otherwise it will come out too bitter. I should check to see how much salt is in the jerk season. Let me see, it's at 23% of salt. Okay, I don't want the chicken to come out too salty. I'm not going to put any salt on the chicken. Instead, I'm going to put it in each bottles. This is about 1.4 teaspoon. So I'm gonna put 1, 2, 3. If it come out salty, then I'll know next time when I make this. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to put garlic powder and onion powder in the container, in the bowl. 1, 2. I'm going to put 2 of each, 2 teaspoon each of garlic and onion powder. I always wash my meat with vinegar and water. If you guys wondering if I wash it, I did wash it. I just didn't show that process. And I'm gonna put 1 garlic in each container. 1 to 2 garlic, it depends on the size. I'm gonna put some bell pepper in each one. You could say this is like a tablespoon of bell pepper I'm putting. I cut them about this small. And a tablespoon of onions in each. So I'm going to marinate it with my hands. You guys don't need to see that part. So I marinate them. Marinate them. So I'm going to put 1 thigh with a leg in each container. First time when I cut this, I cut it in 3, but then I realized I didn't need to do this. first couple ones, I cut them into 3. Then afterwards I realized I did not need to do that. It's good to know that one container hold enough meat for one person. So this is the first one that I cut. I cut it in 3. That wasn't necessary. So I'm going to put some water in it, and I'm going to put more bell pepper and more onions in it, about a tablespoon each in it. So I got a chopstick and I'm gonna de-bubble the liquid. I just filled the water about halfway, because chicken will produce its own water, but I put extra water to make gravy when I open up a bottle. I can put cornstarch, some sort of thickener, and make some sort of gravy with the water. So I'm gonna clean off the jerk season first with a dry paper towel. This is very important to do, to clean it off as much as possible, because if you don't, it won't seal. So cleaning it off is very important. After I do this, I'm gonna wipe it again with another paper towel, but with vinegar, to make sure any grease that I didn't clean off will come off. So now I'm going to cover them with the lid. It's if your pressure can in it, the bottles, you don't need to sterilize the lids. You only need to sterilize the lids if you're just doing water bathing. water bathing, but it's really up to you what you decide to do. Do what makes you feel more comfortable. I think the reason why they say you don't need to sterilize the lid if you do wok and pressure canning, because the canner goes up so high that it will kill any bacteria like that. So this is what it looks like so far, and then I'm going to put it in the pressure canner. I'm supposed to process them for 70 minutes for pint bottles. For quart bottles it's 90 minutes. I'm going to double check just to make sure, but I believe that's what it is. So according to this book, I need to process the chicken for 75 minutes. I have some more space in the canner at the top, so I'm going to process some beans with vegetables also, and it's processed the same time, 75 minutes. So that's a good way to use any extra space that you have to process beans at the same time as you process meat. And that will encourage you to get more beans in your diet, because once you cook it, all you have to do is warm it up or just add it in your meal. So I measure 5 cups of red peas. Some people call it beans, but the real name is actually red peas. And I sort it out and take out the ones that's not that good. So I'm going to wash it, and I'm going to put them in the bottle with the vegetables also, the red peas. And I sort it out and take out the ones that's not that good. So I'm going to wash it, and I'm going to put them in the bottle with the vegetables also. So I changed my mind about the lids for these two chicken in the bottles. I'm gonna re-wipe the lids, the rim of the container again, and then I'm gonna be using these plastic lids for two of the lids for the chicken, and 2 lids for the beans with the vegetables. And these lids are called tabular lids. It comes with the lids like this, and you can reuse the lids. And it also comes with this, where you put them like that, and then you put it over the bottles and you can remove it. So the reason why I'm going to do this is because I'm going to take out 2 chicken. I made 2 chicken for me and my husband afterwards, after it's cooked, so I don't have to cook any other chicken or any other meat with the food tonight. So I'm going to put a little bit, almost a little bit over half a cup of peas in the container. So it's not half a cup, but it's just a little bit above half a cup. And then I put the rest of the way I fill it with vegetables, with the carrots and red bell pepper and onions. So I put some carrots inside each bottles, and I'm gonna put the onions that I'm cutting up now. This is a very small onion, also in each bottles. I'm thinking I may use the jerk season, some of the jerk season also in the bottles, along with other seasoning. So this would be like a vegetarian protein. So I'm going to put about a teaspoon of parsley in each bottles. Dry parsley actually. And a teaspoon of dry oregano. I'm going to sprinkle some black pepper in each one. Then I'm going to put 1/4 teaspoon of salt in each bottle. And then I'm going to put 1/4, not garam masala, cumin, 1/4 teaspoon of cumin in each bottle. Cumin could be a little bit too bitter. If you put too much, it could make it a little bit too bitter. So I'm hoping that this amount is not too much for it. Then I'm gonna put 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. Thyme would also go good in this, I'm thinking, but yeah, maybe I'm gonna actually go pick a few little leaves of lemon thyme. So now I'm just trying to put about a teaspoon of jerk sauce in each. So I'm just trying to put the thyme, lemon thyme, in each container. I'm gonna fill them up with water. So pretty much I use 1 cup of water, some a little bit more, some a little bit less. I try to fill it up to here, and that would determine how much water I put in there. So now I'm going to debubble them with the spoon that I have. I'm going to try to mix up the ingredients as much as possible. And then I'm going to wipe the rim. And then I'm going to put the lids on, and then I'm going to put in the pressure canner. So that's the process. So I'm going to put the Tadler lids, move it so that you guys can see. I'm going to put them on these two. And then I will put the cover over it. Okay. So from the 5 cups of peas I had, this is the amount that left over, so I can use this for something else. So there's an arrow saying close and open here. I'm gonna line it up with this side where there's an arrow on the lid right here. Gonna line it up. And I turn on the stove, and I'm just going to wait till it comes to a boil, and then let it ventilate for 10 minutes or until it have a steady vent. And then after that, I'm going to put the weight on top of this, on top of the ventilator, and pressure can it for 75. No, I'm going to put the weight on top of the ventilator and let it come up to pressure, which is a 10 pound, 11 pound, and then I'm going to pressure can it for 75 minutes. So There's a steady steam that is coming out from the ventilator. So I'm gonna time my clock for 10 minutes and then I'm gonna put the weight on the pressure canner with the ventilator right there. I'm gonna put the weight right there. So it's ventilated for 10 minutes. So I'm gonna put the weight on the ventilation now. So I'm going to process this for 75 minutes. So the weight is rocking back and forth and it reached 11 pounds. So I am going to process now the stuff in the canner for 75 minutes. And then I turn off the pressure canner. So after I turn off the stove, I wait for this part that say top to go down. It was up before, it went down, and the weights stopped going back and forth, and the gauge is gone down to 0. So now I can open up the canner. So I make sure I open up the canner facing towards the wall so that my face won't get burned from the steam. And now I'm gonna start taking out the bottles. This is very handy to take out the bottles. So it's very normal to hear popping sounds when you start taking out the bottles. It means they're getting sealed. So that's a good sound to hear. Wow, the seasoning really gave the meat a good color. I hope you guys heard that sound. That sound is very normal to hear. What's so nice also about the canned food, if you don't have any access of warming up your food, you could just eat it right from the bottle. You don't need to warm it up if you don't have any way of warming up your food. It's perfectly safe to eat from the bottles straight out if you have to. So I don't know if I remember telling you guys to always put a little bit of vinegar in the water in the canner before you can your products, so that it won't leave a white residue on the bottles, because if that happens, it's going to be very hard to clean off the bottles, and it's going to be very hard to clean out the canner also. So this is the finished project. I am just going to let it naturally cool down, and I'm going to remove the lids, the rim. I'm going to remove those, and then I'm going to wipe it down or wash it down with soap and water. I'm going to label it, the date that I can it, and what's the product, and then I'm going to put it in my pantry. I don't think I mentioned this. With the beans and the peas, they recommend you pre-cook it before putting it in the bottles and canning it up. But I don't do that because I find if you do that, they come out too mushy, and a lot of YouTubers, they don't do that either. It's perfectly fine to not pre-cook it before you put it in the canner. But that is up to you what you want to do. But that is what I do, and that's what I feel safe of doing. So okay everybody, have a good day.